Welcome to Lights in the Night, the show that is exploring the unknown one light at a time. Hosted by Russ Johnson, Dana Sardano, and Max Duckworth. We're talking UFOs, alien life, and the mysteries of the cosmos. Is anyone out there? We're looking for answers. Come join us. The lights are on and the night is calling. Lights in the Night. It's time to shine a light on the darkness. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Lights in the Night. I'm Max Duckworth. I'm joined by Russ Johnson and Dana Sardano. And we have an important topic today because we want to talk about really why we're here. Why are we talking about all this stuff? What is going on? And so can you help me, what are we trying to say to the newcomer?
Well, okay. I think we said it, but I guess we can say it in different ways.
Yeah.
That we are on the air with this podcast in an attempt to share the information that other starseeds have come to this planet to do it at this time of disclosure. And Dana happens to be one of the starseeds. And she's got a lot of information. She's written some books that we all need to be reading and ingesting so we can comprehend what's happening in the next 18 months or 2 years when the aliens will show themselves throughout the world. Dana, help us out.
I appreciate that.
Right.
So, yeah, because I came in here like a bulldozer going, this is what I want to talk about.
Can we talk about your message?
So when I was driving in the car, it was coming through so strongly. But essentially, if you're watching and this is making any sense to you, there are millions of people on this planet right now that are of extraterrestrial origin that had volunteered to be born into human bodies or humanness in order to assist Earth's elevation, ascension from the ground. Now, what I don't think people realize is from the beginning of time, the ETs have been seeding and assisting us in our evolution. And they've been doing it energetically. They've been doing it through that sort of influence, doing it through being born into bodies, and are preparing us for what's coming in the next couple years to be here in physical, biological form. And I say this with certainty because about a decade or so ago, I was tapped in. And this is the first time I'm saying this out loud publicly. I was tapped in. I was informed of my star system of origin. I was informed of my mission and purpose. And I also had been in sort of a boot camp or prepared to fly my mission, so to speak, over the last decade in a variety of different ways, which we can get into in a second. In doing so, I understand so clearly my mission that now, as things are beginning to escalate rather quickly, accelerate really is the word I'm looking for, those of us who are aware of our mission and purpose, those of us who have been tapped in, the first, second waves of volunteers, we're doing our jobs. But here's why these conversations are so important. Because there are third waves and fourth waves and fifth waves of people that always knew they were a little bit different, right? Always knew that they were interested and they didn't know why, knew something was up and have not yet been tapped in, so to speak. But these conversations act as trigger points. They act as activations. And it's time and it's exciting because we have children coming in, and I'm almost finished, with high vibration, high frequency. And they're coming in, these new generations, and the systems, the corrupt systems, are now being crumbled by our first, second, third wave of volunteers. They're being crumbled, and it's up to us, those of us who know what our mission is, and those of us who are discovering what our missions are, to create a purer version of systems, something that these children can align with in the highness and the elevation highness of their frequencies moving forward. This is such a powerful time. So when the physical extraterrestrials make themselves available to us or visible to us, it's for us to be ready for them. And that's what we're doing.
Okay. You got it?
Well, so you're saying just being in, like, my interest, and it's like you say that you're a star seed and you're on, and it's like, well, I want to be one too. And like maybe even just following that feeling of desire of being part of the the journey and the educating others is enough to get me started and learning more. Like I wanna know more, and so just following that is maybe feels like something that enough people. I feel like not enough people. Just because you're interested in something, people often, oh, that's for another day. But this just seems like so important.
And your interest is telling, because when I was informed, I was like, I knew it. I knew it. I remember I exclaimed that. And so I believe that if I'm speaking to anybody who's listening, are interested and are pulled, then that is your opening. Start talking to them telepathically. Start giving yourself moments of quiet. I'm loath to use the term meditation, because I know when people told me meditation, I'm like, no, shut up, I won't do it, because it's work to clear the mind. But give yourself those moments of quiet and allow yourself the invitation of them connecting with you, and you will begin to understand not only who you are and your origin, but what your purpose is here.
Right. Oh, great. Then you have written 1, 2, 3, 4 books.
Well, 3 of those 4 are mine. The other one is not.
Okay. Then, for those people who have not begun this journey that you've been on for about 10 years?
A little longer, but 10 solid.
Okay. Then, how can they get a copy of those books?
Okay. So I brought the 4 of them, and I just want to point this one out. My dear friend Anne-Marie Scordy, she's a trance channel. She channels from the Pleiadian. She channels a whole bunch, but specifically this guide is a Pleiadian guide. And this is a story of how she came to grips with her star seediness. And seediness, it kind of makes sense. Her star seed-ishness. And all of the stuff in blue are direct channeled messages, again, to assist us in our evolution. Okay. But I mentioned in my soliloquy how I understood my mission and purpose. And it's to assist people in understanding their own psychology and shifting from limiting beliefs, and then step into their spiritual nature, so then they could assist the children coming forward. And all 3 of these books are from the most basic of, let me get my life in order, to called 10 Recommendments for Personal Empowerment, to, oh my God, my life's in order, and now all this weird spiritual stuff's happening. What do I do? What does it mean? That's what this one is. And this one is called You've Cracked the Code, The Woo Is You. And it's understanding that you are the point of attraction. And when you get yourself aligned, you can, oh my God, you could do anything, essentially. So you could see the amount of information.
That's a lot.
So I'm about helping the human.
Okay.
And you could get them at ubuntufishgallery.com. You could get them on Amazon. You could go on social media, hit me up. They're easy to find. I mean, the covers are pretty obvious.
All right. Where can they find you on social media? Make that clear.
Okay. So I'm Dana Sardano.
Okay.
All you got to do on any of them, just pull up Dana Sardano. Google me. I'm everywhere. I seem to have a big mouth from what I've heard. But my website, ubuntufishgallery.com, will send you to my audiobooks, send you to my written books. It'll send you to the Ubuntu room. It'll send you to social media. It'll send you to Find Art America. Even it'll send you everywhere. So that's really the point of reference.
The few of us who are slow, can you do that? How do you spell that?
Ubuntu, UBUNTU, fishgallery.com. Or just again, Dana Sardano, because that's just as easy to pronounce.
And we're doing a book club on the Brooklyn Cafe show.
Thank you.
And who are our producers, who are great, who help us get this show running. And so Wednesdays. So we're starting Wednesday, April 1st. Join us around noon. Tune in to the Brooklyn Cafe show, and we're going to be talking about the 10 Recommendments.
Is that right? But you've done a lot of work.
I just told you, last 10 years have been like a boot camp. You're like, you're a starseed, and this is where you're from, and this is what you're going to be doing. Now go.
Yeah, but a lot of people are not there yet, but they will be there.
Yeah,
but they're not there. So they called you kind of early on. When I say early on, I'm going back to George Green or Linda Moulton Howe, or looking at the great-great-granddaughter of President Eisenhower, Linda Moulton Howe is another lady. I'm going back to even Bashar. He's been doing it for 40 years. For 40 years. Or Elizabeth April, right? So those people are right on the right there to teach us,
Yeah.
and have been teaching us for the last 40 or 50 years
Yeah.
about what's going on this planet, the truth of the matter.
Yes. Yes.
I like to always talk about William Tompkins. He started in the early 30s. He was met with aliens, and he helped us. And his book was selected by extraterrestrials. William Tompkins. Anybody? The producer of the show, the developer of this whole Brooklyn Cafe. How do you view all of this? Because we've been back in the old days, 14, 15 years ago. What do you think about today, and in contrast to back in those days?
Well, I remember 14 years ago when I first met you, I thought you were nuts. I didn't think anybody in their right mind would openly discuss what you're talking about now. But now, after years and years of doing this with you, I've begun to see things in a different light. I understand people and how it relates to what you're talking about. See, a lot of people, it's like the light bulb thing that we were talking about.
Yeah, let's talk about the light bulb.
They see a light bulb that you introduced us to, and the technology behind that light bulb is tremendous. I got plants, I use it to clean out air. I mean, what it says it does is just miraculous, but people won't believe it, just like they won't believe the three of you. They'd rather say, no, I don't believe this, you guys are just drinking the juice, you're this, you're that, let me just be polite and listen, yada, yada, yada. It doesn't work that way, because you're either going to be prepared or you're not. And the next level is about cleansing and understanding your brain, your mind, and your soul. And if you don't understand that, then how in the world are you going to understand that there are other forms of life around us? Everybody says it doesn't exist, but the government just approved a $20 billion project to put housing on the moon. Now, $20 billion is a lot of money for something that is you can't believe in. So I think that the truth of the matter is that there are people that know the real deal. They've been given that information, and they're just not telling anybody. So either you listen and you learn, or you don't. So I don't fight it anymore.
Right.
I'm trying to introduce people. I got Cinderella here today so she can listen, and somewhere along the line, maybe she'll understand how important this is to her life and her children's lives and their lives, because that's what's going to come down.
It's all coming.
In the bottom line. So when we talk about all these different aspects and people that say these books, I get it. I just want people to understand my book it's taken me a long time to understand it. So if I don't understand it, I see the pages, I'm learning. I'm learning through the three of you. I'm learning through people that Dana has brought upon us as well. And I'm just hoping to share this information with somebody who has absolutely no idea of what you guys are talking about.
Well, how does she feel about
I don't know.
listening? You're listening to the show. Were you listening to Dana? And obviously he told her about the story. We go back 15 years with all of this when we started at WWNN on radio, was AM radio. But people didn't believe us in those days. But now, how do you feel about all of this?
Personally, I don't completely understand it.
Okay.
I'm hearing what you're saying, but
I understand the mouth sounds.
but other than that, I'm trying to take it all in, but it's still kind of confusing.
It's a little foreign,
I
huh?
guess.
A little foreign, a little strange.
Do you have any questions?
No, because I'm still just trying to
I get
comprehend
that.
everything you're saying in my
in a lot of
mind.
ways right where you are, so I get that.
Yeah, I'm going for the break here in a minute, and we'll come back and we can always continue the discussion. But I like it because the awareness of what's going on is now coming to the fore. So
Big time.
Big time. It's a lot of surprises. So anyway, we will be back in just a moment right here on Lights in the Night for more discussions.
AMP Media Futures Foundation at Crazy Uncle Mike's for Caps Off for a Cause, where we help young adults fresh from graduation advance in the world of media production. With your donation, we can help graduates by giving them the training and skills needed to get a foothold in the media production industry. To participate, scan the QR code here to purchase tickets. Once you do that, you can enjoy a drink, have some light snacks, and potentially get networking opportunities. Caps Off for a Cause will take place on May 12th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., located at Crazy Uncle Mike's on 6450 North Federal Highway, Boca Raton, Florida, 33487. For further information, contact the AMP Media Futures Foundation through their email, phone number, or website as seen here. We hope to see you soon.
We're back, and the night is getting darker.
The lights are still on, and the truth is waiting. Stick with us.
More mysteries, more lights in the night.
Okay, back with Lights in the Night, or if you like, you can go to my website and take a look at it. It's the UFOvoiceoftruth.com. Go there, take a look at it, because that's what we're going to do past it. We want to address ourselves to the real issue of the day. Listen, when we talk about Bashar or Elizabeth April or Dolores Cannon, we can go on and on. So many people have paved the way for us to be discussing this. A lot of people are going to resist your information initially, but it's going to be in evidence. What's going to really propel it into the minds of the people, to the hearts and the souls of the people? What do you think is going to happen in the next 2 years?
I'll tell you what I think.
Okay.
I think, like I mentioned, there's
Right.
these waves of volunteers. There's millions,
Right.
right? And then as the new ones begin to wake up, and it's more and more and more with the
Right.
more crumbling of the systems. So for me, when I go on social media and I see complete strangers having the same information that I have, not that I picked up off social media, that I learned myself, and I'm hearing complete strangers saying the same thing, it adds a validity to what I already know. And there's more and more people doing that. So people are having their own experiences. People like us are talking about it. And then some rando is like, hey, wait, that happened to me. Maybe I should be more open to it. And the more that happens, if you're looking at individual lights and those lights begin to expand, then the whole room lights up. And that's how I see people accepting this.
Freddie, can I get you on this? Sure. Yeah, because it's very important. Could you talk about the last 15 years, in addition to talking about this subject matter and meeting the kind of people that you have met, what you have done to help make this subject aware in terms of your studio, the Brooklyn Cafe, the people that you've had on the air? Can you talk about the students that you brought into your teaching? Let's talk about that.
Well, I'm going to tell you, who's a better versed at this whole thing is Dawn, because Dawn's the one who is more affected with some of the things that
Well, tell her,
went
come on in.
You should
Dawn.
come and explain your experience.
Because Dawn has a
Of-
serious history about understanding her spiritual development.
Your spiritual development and how it interferes with
All right, Nat.
She's very advanced.
And it's funny because we were told that Dawn was going to up her voice, right? So why don't you come over here and grab this mic and up your voice?
Dawn, thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Dawn and Freddie controls and organizes and make this Brooklyn Cafe a reality in Boca for the students of various universities, Lynn, FAU, and all the other universities. They come here and do the interns. Let's talk about that. That you created a platform where students are coming in to learn how to be producers and directors, on-the-air personality, etc. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Well, a lot of the they're students, so they're learning these skills in school. So it really gives them the opportunity to take what they've learned, that book knowledge, that theoretical knowledge, all the names that they see in the books, and then actually come to a real working studio. And what they realize is they don't learn any of this in school. It gives them an opportunity to communicate, to collaborate with each other, to have ideas, to come together and work in an environment where everything matters. All ideas are good ideas, but you have to execute them. It comes down to accountability, accessibility, getting it out there, everything that they want to do, but they have to bring it to fruition, because otherwise it's just an idea until it comes to fruition. And I think that's the hardest part for them, is getting along with each other, sharing ideas with each other, communicating with each other, and getting the ideas out there.
So you're making this a reality, and you to be congratulated and
Thank
to
you.
be able to take them from all the various universities and give them internships, no cost to them, and the training that they need to go out into the big world and get the big jobs and become captains of industry.
Yeah. And any number of them have said to me, like, they're like, we learn more here than we ever learned in class.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Boy, fantastic. And you're doing a fundraiser soon. Let's
Doing
talk
a
about that.
fundraiser on Tuesday, May 12th from 5 to 7:30 at Crazy Uncle Mike's, which is right on Federal Highway between Boca and Delray border. Mike is always so gracious and generous with his time. There'll be food. Entertainment we're still working on, but I know we've got some music. Dana's going to be, I think,
MC.
coordinating it and
RMC.
working on that.
Coordinating it too?
MC it for us.
Okay.
He's going to be emceeing it for us. And then little by little, but it's a graduation theme to honor all our graduates, as well as those that didn't actually get to graduate in COVID, or those that have come through our program. We actually have our first grandbaby of the studio coming from one of our producers. They've gotten married through here, they've dated, they've laughed, they've cried, and now there's a baby coming, which is pretty exciting. It's the first baby to come out of it.
Dana's going to have be. She's a special person, obviously.
Yes.
But on that evening, what do you think you're going to? Let's say that 500-600 people there, or maybe more. Okay. What are you going to do to?
Well, I figured I would start with a tap dance. I would open with that.
Okay.
And I'm going to bring my boa, but I'm not sure. So I'm just going to have it. No, here's what I was thinking, actually, because in hearing what Dawn just said has confirmed exactly what I think and what I feel about it. What makes this place so special from my perspective, and what they're doing with this foundation that's so special from my perspective, is if you hear me in the Ubuntu room and you hear the things I say, I'm like a broken record with it's personal empowerment, spiritual development. We have to learn how to communicate and get along and collaborate. And everything they do here is the wave of the future of what the world, what humanity is going towards.
Wow.
So they're now doing what the star seeds or what the spiritualists or even the UFO enthusiasts talk about, what we want to see with this new Earth.
Right.
And they're doing it with these kids. They say they're teaching them how to use a camera or make a commercial, but really they're teaching them how to thrive as human beings in an environment where they are role models for them and doing what they love to do, what brings them joy, through the skills of communication and collaboration and all of the things that we say we want to see in the world. So they are the trailblazers in this criteria for making the world a better place. I can't be more thrilled that I've stepped into this place, that I've met them, that I'm witnessing this, and that I get to get a mic and talk about it in front of 500 people with my boa and my tap shoes. I'm thrilled.
Absolutely. So you've got consensus, collaboration, and cooperation among people.
Yes,
So-
sense of unity and respect.
So, right. So basically, we're talking about the law of one. If we could talk about that, we talk about
Good.
right.
Yeah.
And to phase that into where people are programmed already, we can talk about the mission of Jesus. 2.8 billion people follow the Christianity, right? Right.
Yeah.
And so that message is in Luke 4:18. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me. He hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to deliver freedom to the captives, and the recovering of sight to the blind. I am the good shepherd, and the good shepherd gives his life for the sheep. So all of that is in John 10 and John 11, if you want to look at that. So to bridge the gap, so when we talk about the new thinking, the new cooperation and consensus, is about what?
I'll tell you, just those 2 lines alone, freedom to the captives and sight to the blind.
Right.
You know, we could take that literally, but you know, because of the day that it was spoken. But the reality is, when we understand ourselves, alignment, right, and when we believe Ubuntu, when we are connected to one another and have a unity consciousness, we then can see. We broaden our awareness. We have freedom. We are no longer captive to our own mentality or those who can control us because we are not aligned. It's about bringing in the light of ourselves and then being sovereign beings and not susceptible to forces beyond us.
Okay.
That's how I see it in 2.0.
Well, that's great. I think in terms of the motion pictures that I watched about 20 years ago, Jim Carrey, he did
Truman Show.
The Truman Show. Yeah. So this planet, basically, according to William Tompkins, even Bashar, Elizabeth April, is like the Truman Show, right? So we are captive. We've been, as William Tompkins says in his book, Selected by Extraterrestrials, we've been programmed badly, right?
Yeah, to a certain degree, I think that yes, 100%.
Okay.
But I don't think all extraterrestrials. I think that there's a group that have enslaved us, that want us to be enslaved. But there's an even larger group that are helping us free ourselves from the shackles.
So when we talk about aliens, if you will, we're not talking about the Greys, the Reptilians, the Palladians, the Blue Avians, but we talk about millions and probably billions of aliens out there.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so we're not limited in terms of, so in that whole collective, they're the good people and they're the bad people.
Well, it's like humans.
Okay,
it's like that guy. I don't know. That chick, she's all right.
Take a minute and talk about that. That's very important.
What do you want me to say? What do you mean?
I want you to explain to the people that
They're really, the way I see it, and especially what I understand and those that I've connected with, they're really not much different than us as the human race. So when you look at the human race, you have people that you don't care for, people that are decent, you have people that are smart, people that are not very smart, people that are young and undeveloped, people they're old, we'll say overdeveloped, and the extraterrestrials, at least the ones that I'm familiar with, are just another extension of who we are. And we are also of them because we're really all of the stars. If you really want to start getting all like that, we're all of the stars, we're all of the source, we're all of that. So I do think that if people just open their mind past what Hollywood has told us and what we've been conditioned to believe about aliens, like take me to your leader. If we could get past that, I think that we'll be all right.
Yeah,
we'll be all right.
I think we're doing good. Freddie, could you take 30 seconds or 1 minute and tell us how you see things?
I got a better question. I want to ask Max.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, you've been here a couple of weeks now. You've been doing this a couple of months. And I really want to know where you stand on everything that you've been listening, hearing, and being part of.
You got 1 minute.
Okay. I mean, I have more questions than ever. I honestly think that I know this is all real. I believed it for a long time, and I haven't had the evidence to prove it. I don't have the evidence against it, but now I'm wondering, you gave a quote from the Bible, and I'm concerned about people where some of this information might change people's beliefs and actually, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm concerned about the next wave of people and how their beliefs might be challenged by new information.
It's going to be a challenge, but we need to be challenged. We are growing entities. We are students on this planet. We came here from different parts of the galaxy here for disclosure. We're going to have to learn. We're going to have to grow. We're going to have to change. Listen, 40 seconds. You can wrap up. That's all the time we have.
I mean, I think maybe we could talk about that next week as far as helping people who do have limiting belief systems to try and open their minds.
Okay, 15 seconds, close it out.
Thank you for joining us. Russ Johnson, Dana Sardano, Freddie Santori, Dawn Graubert from the Brooklyn Cafe Show. See you next week.
What's up?
Next week, same time, same place. Thank you very much for listening. Appreciate you. Really do.
The lights are fading, but the mystery remains.
Join us next time on Lights in the Night. Same time, same darkness.
Until then, keep looking up.
The night is watching.
Lights in the night, where the unknown illuminates.